Hey, welcome back to this video in the arm balance series. In this one we're going to look at Astavakrasana, or 8 limb pose, 8 angle pose, as you may hear it translated to. So this is one of those poses. I went on a yoga retreat a few years back with a yogi called Jessica Sky, and she always calls this pose that like you're making yourself into a little pretzel, and I think that's a really good way to describe it, because when you first see this posture you can be a bit like not able to get your head around how the person got into it. But it's quite straightforward. There's just a few steps you've got to go through to get there. So I'll show it from a couple of angles. But to start off with, we're coming into Dandasana. So we are flexing the toes, flexing the feet back towards us, sitting nice and tall, and just having a couple of breaths here. So really bringing the legs in together, engaging the lower body, engaging the belly. And then once we've sat here for a few breaths, we'll take this left leg in towards us. And we're really just hugging it in for now, keeping the right foot flexed, keeping the right leg engaged. Then we shall lift, take both hands under the left foot and lift the foot up. So we've now got this kind of 90-degree angle in the knee, and we're really sucking it into the shoulder joint. And a little bit of prep that I like to do is to just, that reminds me, I've not told you to warm up your wrists. So if you haven't warmed up your wrists, go back to the first video and do that. But just to kind of open up the hip a little bit here, what we'll do is from the 90-degree bent knee, we'll take that right foot over towards, left foot over towards the left, and then just drop the thigh and lift it up. Sitting nice and tall, so not slumping here. So we're just bringing it in and dropping it. Then we might bring it in and take it from side to side. We're just really trying to oil up the hip joint, that big joint. So taking it side to side, down, maybe taking it a bit higher to the chest so that we just loosen it up. Then from here, we'll take that knee back into the shoulder, connecting it in. So we're really squeezing it back. So it's a bit like the foot position in Happy Baby. Then take the right hand on the outside of the left foot. Now take the left arm and take it under the leg. So ideally, you want to wriggle this left leg to come up to the top of the left shoulder. And then you want to plant that left hand in line with the hip. And we want to try and get it as high as here. So if when you're starting, you're kind of here, that's fine, but just keep working on trying to send the knee higher. We just want to try and create some nice sort of sturdy connection here, because we're going to be moving forward and then straightening the legs. So the higher up we start, the less chance we're going to end up with the back of the leg on the elbow, which isn't really where we want to aim to be here. So again, we're just lifting the leg up, hooking it over, and then dropping this hand down. Now this foot out in front, we're going to drop the right hand and lift the butt off, and then just see if we can lift the leg up and then lower it. So that may be where you think, okay, today I can't lift the leg up. If you can't lift the leg up, then that's no problem. Just keep working, having both hands planted and lifting the butt. Eventually the leg will lift. To aim to get that leg to lift, you just try and suck the right leg back into its hip socket. So if it's kind of coming forward, you really suck it in and then try and lift. But just keep trying to lift the butt off. Once the butt is lifted, it's just a matter of time before the foot will lift as well. So that's the first sort of phase of the pose. So we get our arms ready and we lift the butt off and then we lift the leg off. Then we're going to bend this leg. Stage 2 is to take the foot over the top of the other foot. So I've got my bum lifted off the floor, my arms are straight. Then I'm going to start to lean forward. As I lean forward, I take the legs out and I bend my arms like chaturanga. And then I take the body level to the mat. So I'm not very far off the mat. And then when I'm ready, I bend it all back in. So yeah, you're not going to be like miles off the mat because, well, unless you've got like really long arms, but when the arms are bent, you know, they're quite heavily bent, they're in chaturanga, so you're going to be as low to the mat, maybe a bit lower than chaturanga, and obviously the butt's got a lift as well. So yeah, that's 8 angle. If I show you from this side as well, sometimes you see people using blocks for their hands. I'm not sure I trust the blocks enough. Maybe if you've got cork blocks like these and they're really sturdy, then, which are actually bricks, then maybe use those. But yeah, I would say just keep trying. Wherever you're seeing a bit of a blocker, just keep trying to get to the next step. So we're in Dandasana. We bring one leg in, so this for me is the left. Then we suck it into the knee, take the hands around the foot, then take the right hand on the outside of the left foot. We're going to shimmy this left shoulder underneath the foot. Then stage 1 is lift the feet off, lift the leg off, then bend the legs. Stage 2, cross the legs. Now look forward, start to take the body forward as you straighten the legs and bend the elbows. And then when you're ready, you come back to sit. So the reason we want to try and get the arm quite high up is if the arm starts very low down, which might be because of flexibility reasons, you'll still be able to lift, but what might happen is the leg might then go beyond the arm and then the feet won't be able to lift because the feet will go to the floor. So really, things to think about. Everything's engaged, I think, for this posture. You know, you can see I'm a little bit out of breath. It's quite hard to hold that posture and talk and breathe. But, you know, making sure you're sitting nice and tall in Dandasana, doing the work beforehand to get into the pose and not just throw yourself into it. So come into Dandasana, sit long, really sit up from the spine, sit up through the spine. Then you know, really suck that knee into the chest and just work on that, work on some of the rotations that I showed you, so the figure of 4 kind of leg. And then when you can get the shoulder under, you're in a great starting place. Then it's really all about being able to lift the butt and then sucking the foot off the floor. And the only way to do that will be to engage the belly, lift the butt and pull in. The rest then is just figuring out the balance. So we've got stage 1 is get that leg over the top and lift the straight leg. Stage 2 is bend the knee, cross the legs over, and then stage 3 is, as you go forward, arms come into chaturanga, so exactly the same as in the other tutorials. You know, bring the triceps in and send the rough part of the elbows backwards. Send the chest level to the mat and start to add more of a straightness to the legs. So that's Astavakrasana or 8 angle. So let me know how you got on, drop us some comments, and please subscribe to the channel if you haven't so that you can keep up with whatever we're doing next. I'll see you back here for the next video in the series.